Dustin Poirier has opened up about his lingering health issues following UFC 318, where he endured a grueling 25-minute battle and suffered a hard-fought loss to Max Holloway. Poirier, a veteran of many 5-round wars, is no stranger to the physical demands of MMA, but even he admitted this one left him hurting. On social media, he candidly shared his post-fight recovery. When a fan asked how he spent his first Monday after announcing retirement, Poirier simply said, "Getting x-rays and my body checked out. I'm hurting." This revealed a vulnerable side fans rarely see. Fighters are celebrated for toughness and resilience, but behind the octagon's bright lights lies the harsh reality of years of competition, bruises, injuries, and wear on the body. Poirier made it clear his health and well-being now outweigh any desire to continue fighting. Speaking with MMA Junkie's Mike Vaughn, he reflected on the fight and admitted leaving his gloves in the center of the octagon was the right decision. He described the internal dialogue he experienced. In between rounds, talking with his boxing coach, he realized there were chances to be more aggressive, but he chose self-preservation over risk. Known for putting himself in harm's way to land big shots, this time was different. For the first time in his career, he consciously avoided unnecessary danger. That shift in mindset signaled it was time to walk away. His fighting spirit remained, but his priorities changed. He wasn't willing to gamble his long-term health just to chase another highlight moment. Self-preservation, getting home safely to my family, that's what matters now, Poirier said. It was a profound statement from a man who has given everything to the sport. Over the years, fans watched him wage wars against Justin Gaethje, Conor McGregor, Charles Oliveira, and now Max Holloway. He's delivered unforgettable moments, fought with heart every time. But at this stage, his family and future mean more than one last title run. On the Ariel Helwani show, Poirier explained one of the most talked about moments, why he chose to clinch with Holloway in the final seconds instead of exchanging punches wildly. Many expected a chaotic finish, but Poirier knew how it would end. What happened was exactly what I thought. The point down, we were supposed to exchange, but Max was too fast. I said, we're just clinching, we're going to wrestle a little bit. I'm not doing this, I'm not going out like Gaethje. This honesty is rare in MMA. Many fighters force themselves into dangerous exchanges to please fans, but Poirier had nothing left to prove. He was fighting smart, with his future in mind. Though he came up short in his BMF title fight, he received something far more meaningful afterward, a handmade Best Dad Ever belt from his daughter. Poirier's story is one of courage, sacrifice, and knowing when to let go. He walked away on his terms, not because he couldn't compete, but because he understood what truly matters. The cheers fade, but the embrace of family remains. For Poirier, that's the greatest victory of all. Before moving on to another news update, I have a small request for all of you. We're constantly working on improving our content day by day, and it's all thanks to your incredible love and support. So if you're enjoying these updates and want to keep seeing more, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to leave a like on this video. It really helps the channel grow and reach more fight fans like you. Also, I'd love to hear from you in the comments section. Tell us your dream fight to watch, past, present, or even a fantasy matchup you've always wanted to see. Whether it's a legendary fighter coming back or two champions from different eras clashing, drop your thoughts below. Your feedback keeps this community alive and helps us bring you even better content. Moving on to the next story, Israel Adesanya and Reinier de Ridder have shared their predictions for the highly anticipated clash between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis. UFC 319 is less than a month away in Chicago, Illinois, and it's shaping up to be one of the year's biggest cards. Du Plessis, the reigning middleweight champion, will defend his title against the undefeated powerhouse Khamzat Chimaev. This matchup has fans buzzing as it pits du Plessis' relentless pressure and unpredictable style against Chimaev's ferocious grappling and early fight dominance. Before the fight, contender Reinier de Ridder, who has first-hand experience training with both fighters, shared his honest thoughts during an interview on Submission Radio. Known for his technical grappling and strategic approach, de Ridder jokingly said he still hopes Khamzat pulls out at the last minute. Why? Because UFC 319 is just 2 weeks after his own fight, meaning there's still a slim chance he could be called in as a last-minute replacement. While said with a laugh, it reflects the reality that fighters always want to be in the mix for big opportunities. But beyond the jokes, de Ridder's analysis was clear. He's leaning toward Dricus to win. He explained that he's trained extensively with both men, and doesn't see Khamzat finishing the fight early. While he acknowledged Khamzat's explosiveness and power in the opening rounds, he believes Du Plessis has the durability and conditioning to survive the storm. According to De Ridder, Dricus thrives in the later rounds, where his chaotic pace becomes even harder to manage. He predicts Dricus will build momentum in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds, slowly wearing Khamzat down to edge out a victory. While De Ridder is set to face Robert Whittaker this weekend, his ambitions go beyond that fight. The former ONE champion is already positioning himself strategically. In an interview with MMA Junkie, he laid out his plan to become the UFC 319 backup fighter. He admitted that simply beating Whittaker isn't enough. He needs to make a statement. He wants to finish Whittaker early, and not just finish him, but do it in spectacular fashion, so the UFC will have no choice but to keep him as the standby fighter for the title fight. De Ridder even explained how other fights on the card could impact his chances. Ideally, he said, if Caio Borralho's fight ends in a dull 5-round decision with no excitement, it would make him the more appealing backup option. And of course, there's always the possibility that Khamzat could pull out last minute due to injury or illness, leaving the door open for De Ridder to step in. Meanwhile, former middleweight king Israel Adesanya also gave his prediction on his YouTube channel. Adesanya, who has had a heated rivalry with Du Plessis, said, "I still think Dricus gets it. A late finish for DDP. If Khamzat wins, it's within the first 2 rounds. Dricus is just chaotic good, chaotic evil. That's literally what this fight might be." Karinja Isanya highlighted that Khamzat is most dangerous early, especially with his suffocating wrestling and explosive power. If Khamzat overwhelms Dricus in the opening 10 minutes, he has a strong chance to win. But if the fight goes into the championship rounds, the momentum could swing heavily toward Dricus. With fight night approaching, fans are eager to see how this clash of styles unfolds. Will Khamzat's raw aggression finally meet its match? Or will Dricus' chaos prove too much for even Chimaev? UFC 319 promises fireworks, and the MMA world will be glued to every second. Next up, Paulo Costa reignited his heated feud with Khamzat Chimaev by publicly leaking old private messages. In the lead-up to his fight with Roman Kopylov this past weekend, Costa hinted multiple times that if he secured a victory, his next move would be to call out Khamzat. True to his word, after snapping a frustrating 2-fight losing streak with an impressive performance, Costa wasted no time during his post-fight interview, directly naming Khamzat as his next target. However, the drama didn't end there. Appearing on the Ariel Helwani show, Costa added fuel to the fire by revealing personal details about their long-standing rivalry. According to Costa, years ago Khamzat sent inappropriate direct messages to his girlfriend Tamara. In those messages, Khamzat reportedly mocked Costa's masculinity, writing, "Your man is not man enough." To make matters worse, Khamzat also sent a picture of Adesanya and Costa together, adding a provocative comment, "Look, he likes black men. You should look for a better man than him." Costa then escalated the situation further by sharing a screenshot of the alleged DM on social media, ensuring the story spread like wildfire. The move grabbed immediate attention from fans and fighters alike, sparking debate over whether the messages were real and whether Costa's decision to reveal them was justified. Of course, while Costa successfully made headlines, his position in the division remains precarious. Heading into Saturday's fight, he was ranked 13th at middleweight. Despite his win, he'll likely need at least one more significant victory against a higher-ranked opponent before he earns a serious opportunity to face a top contender like Khamzat Chimaev. Still, with the bad blood now boiling over publicly, this rivalry is sure to keep the MMA world talking. In other news, Islam Makhachev made headlines this week after submitting a training partner with a twister during a practice session. Footage of the moment quickly surfaced on social media, and fans were left stunned at just how smoothly he executed the rare submission. For those who may not be familiar, the twister is one of the most uncommon and difficult moves in all of mixed martial arts. It's a spinal lock that requires extreme precision, control, and timing to set up, making it incredibly rare to see even in high-level grappling competitions, let alone inside the UFC octagon. The move was popularized in MMA by the Korean zombie Chan Sung Jung, who was the first UFC fighter to successfully pull it off during a live fight back in 2011. Since that iconic moment, it has only been successfully executed 3 more times in UFC history. Because of its complexity, most fighters don't even attempt it in competition. That's why seeing Makhachev hit it so effortlessly during training has people talking. It's a testament to his grappling skills, his creativity, and his ability to control an opponent in ways most fighters can't even anticipate. Fans are already imagining what it would look like if Islam managed to land a twister during an actual UFC fight. It would instantly go viral and add to his growing legacy as one of the most dominant lightweights in the world. Makhachev is already known for his suffocating wrestling and relentless pressure, but this shows there's even more depth to his grappling arsenal. It proves he's not just about basic control and submissions. He's capable of pulling off techniques so rare they're almost mythical in MMA. If Makhachev were to hit a twister in a real fight, it would be absolutely insane and cement his place as one of the most well-rounded and dangerous fighters in the sport today. Move on to another news. Speaking of top fighters, Khabib Nurmagomedov has issued a serious warning to Khamzat Chimaev ahead of his highly anticipated title fight at UFC 319 against Dricus du Plessis. In today's MMA news, Khabib surprised many by offering strategic advice that went against what most fans believe is Khamzat's best path to victory. Many expect Khamzat to come out like a storm, overwhelming Dricus with chaos and relentless pressure in the opening endings. It's a strategy that has worked for him in the past, blitzing opponents, breaking their spirit early, and finishing fights before they even have time to adjust. But Khabib disagrees with that approach for this particular matchup. The undefeated legend explained that UFC 319's main event is a 5-round title fight, not a quick 3-round affair. He emphasized that burning all your energy in the first 10 minutes could backfire badly. Instead, Khabib believes Khamzat should stay composed, avoid unnecessary risks early on, and fight methodically. This is a marathon, not a sprint, he implied. He reminded everyone that gassing out against someone as relentless as Dricus would be disastrous in the later rounds. According to Khabib, Khamzat's boxing is actually sharper than Dricus's, which means with the right game plan, he can definitely win. However, Khabib also cautioned that du Plessis is extremely tough. If you don't knock him out clean, he just keeps coming forward. His kickboxing is unorthodox, far from the most technical, but he makes up for it with volume, awkward angles, and constant pressure. If Khamzat pushes too hard early and doesn't get the finish, he has to be ready for championship rounds, Khabib warned. In the same interview, Khabib also spoke about Islam Makhachev's upcoming fight with Jack Della Maddalena. He made it clear they're taking Jack very seriously, calling him more dangerous than Ilia Topuria because of his size, striking ability, and even his takedown defense. The Eagle praised Jack's underrated grappling too, noting that he's not just a striker but a complete mixed martial artist. This is not an easy fight, Khabib said. We are preparing for a real challenge. Returning to Khamzat versus Dricus, Khabib further explained his thoughts. He dismissed the idea that du Plessis is physically bigger. I don't think Dricus is bigger than Khamzat. Khamzat is taller. And I don't think Dricus walks around heavier, he said. To Khabib, this fight is the culmination of Khamzat's career so far. All the years of hard work have brought him to this moment, but du Plessis is dangerous, because if you don't finish him, he keeps pressing forward endlessly. He's awkward, throws a lot of volume, and while not the most accurate, his pressure can break opponents mentally. My advice to Khamzat is to keep it standing. In pure boxing, he's better, but if you push too hard early and fail to finish, you must be prepared for the later rounds. You can't afford to gas out, Khabib said firmly. His words carry weight, especially coming from someone who mastered the art of conserving energy while systematically breaking down elite opponents. UFC 319 is shaping up to be a true test for Khamzat, and Khabib's strategic insight might just play a role in how he approaches the biggest fight of his career. Finally, Tom Aspinall addressed one of the most intriguing hypothetical matchups that fans constantly debate, facing former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou. Although Ngannou is no longer part of the UFC roster, his sheer dominance during his reign, especially his memorable victory over Cyril Gane, has kept fans wondering how he would stack up against the current crop of elite heavyweights. Despite the slim chances of the fight ever materializing, Aspinall didn't shy away from giving his perspective during a candid sit-down interview with former heavyweight contender Stefan Struve for UFC on Eurosport. I think I'm a smart fighter with good fight IQ, Aspinall said confidently. I could navigate that danger well. From the outside looking in, I think I'd do good. It's definitely a fight I'd be interested in. His calm and composed response reflected his belief in his technical skills, agility, and strategic approach, which many believe could present unique challenges for Ngannou's raw power and knockout ability. While fans may never see the matchup, it remains a fun what-if scenario in the MMA world. Amid ongoing speculation about fighters changing divisions, Aspinall also weighed in on the recent rumors of Alex Pereira potentially moving up to heavyweight. Pereira, the current light heavyweight champion, is known to walk around at 242 pounds, sparking curiosity about how he'd fare among the UFC's giants. Aspinall admitted he's just as intrigued as the fans. "Any fight is interesting to me. I don't need much to be enticed into a fight with somebody," he said. He noted that Pereira and his team know exactly how to make noise on social media to keep fans talking. "From what I know, it's quite normal for bigger light heavyweights to get up to 240 or 250, so maybe he's just teasing it." While Aspinall didn't confirm any concrete plans regarding Pereira or a fantasy bout with Ngannou, he did reveal that his next title defense is already officially signed. However, he didn't disclose the opponent, leaving fans speculating and eagerly waiting for more news. As one of the most exciting heavyweights in the division, every move Aspinall makes generates buzz and keeps the division alive with anticipation. This wraps up an absolutely packed lineup of MMA updates, from Dustin Poirier's health struggles and emotional retirement reflections to bold predictions for Khamzat vs. Dracus, Paulo Costa's leaked messages, igniting drama, Islam Makhachev's rare twister submission, Khabib's strategic advice, and Aspinall teasing potential dream fights. The UFC landscape continues to evolve with non-stop twists, rivalries, and speculation. With UFC 319 right around the corner, the excitement is only building, and fight fans worldwide can't wait to see how it all unfolds.